to Ready Go.
Hi, welcome.
Welcome back to the channel. Today we'll be answering the questions that we got from the last video that we did. So let's go over. So the first question is why do people cry on their wedding day? Why do people cry? What do you have to say?
Well, I think it's relative, honestly. It's not a must you cry.
That's all.
It is not done and you have to cry. It's not a must. Because I think it's on the lighter mood too. But then, personally, I didn't cry. And I know a lot of people that did not cry too. And there are tons of people that actually cried. It is relative in the sense that if you're an emotional person, I think you can't help it.
Yeah.
But if you're stone-hearted like some of us, like you know, you can be all emotional, you know, you can be moved, you can be touched, but it's not compulsory you tear up. So it is not a must you cry. If your emotions lead you to crying, you know, it's not easy actually, because you're going from one family, you are used to that routine, you've been there all your life. You know, taking you out of there is not easy to go and join up to somebody else. So I think it's quite emotional. It's an emotional period, moment rather, for both your parents and you. And you know, it's tears of joy, really. It's not yeah. So it is relative. You can cry, you may not cry.
Okay, I'd just like to add that there's no gift or award for the person that cries best.
Let's cry.
Let's cry.
I'll cry.
And the way people express their emotions are actually very different. Some people express it by crying. Some people express it by maybe being moody, and you know, you get to your husband's like, remember when after I was gone, I was like, oh, I was thinking of actually going back home. Like I wasn't used to that lifestyle. I was like, oh, I need to be going home. You get? So it just depends on the way you are able to express yourself. Like she said, you're moving from one family to another. So I know those Salah guy Duro, they know how to make people cry. So they will just be telling you things that will make your head to just swell, and not because it's a bad thing that is happening. It's just tears of joy. It's just a day that is emotional, you know. So that is it about that. The second question is, as I said, talking about budgeting for invited guests. What about scenarios where one has lots of uninvited guests out of popular personality? Okay, let me see. For me, I'd say that you are a popular somebody. It's either you have Ivy to enter for your wedding. If you know that you don't want a crowded wedding, it's better you have like you can only enter via invitation. There are weddings like that. That is the budget I have. I can only afford to feed 100 people, so therefore 100 cards I give. If you know that you want to come with your wife, that means you're going to collect 2 cards. It's not going to be that the whole family has one.
Of course.
Because I can decide to come with my nephew, my cousin,
so it's going to be based like strictly on invitation.
Strictly on invitation. That is number one. Another thing I feel you can do is that you don't announce your wedding.
Yes.
Everybody doesn't have to know. You only tell the people that are important that needs to come. Yeah.
Then I think another thing, if at all you already called everybody, printed invitation, all you can do is make whatever budget you're doing, make it times 2.
Yeah.
Because it's better to have excess.
All times 3 safe.
All times 3, yeah.
If you are popular.
Exactly. And you know, this person coming from our town will bring his wife, they'll come with their children. So it's better you make provision for lots.
If you have the money.
If you have the capacity, really. Because it is better for you to have excess than not to have enough at all.
Honestly.
No.
And it's not even only wedding. It boils down to any occasion.
Any occasions that you're inviting people to.
Yes. You want to do a big celebration, birthday party.
Please try and budget for more than people. Let's say you're calling like 200 guests. You can make provision for 500. Please. So at least everybody can come and eat and be well taken care of.
Amen. The next question is, in planning and executing your wedding plans, how best can one shield oneself from third parties without disrespecting them? For example, parents of the bride or groom having other plans that one may not really want. Wow.
This question is dicey. Very, very, very dicey.
Well, speaking of Nigerian wedding, it's usually our wedding.
Of course.
It's usually a family wedding. So I would say that you and your partner must first agree on something. if you and your spouse have agreed on something, each of you should communicate that to your parents.
Yes.
That is the best way I think you can handle the bride's family or the husband's family trying to do things that you do not believe in. So you and your partner, that is why it's important in courtship that you both agree that, okay, oh, this is the kind of thing we are going to do on our wedding. Not that your husband will, not that we have to be saying that, in my family, or maybe they used to wash leg, and you are like, they don't do that in my family. Communicate that when you are courting, so that you can both communicate it to your families individually. That is just the best way I feel you can handle that situation.
And there are a lot of ways you can actually decline politely.
Yes.
Mark the word, special emphasis.
Politely. Yes.
It's just, of course, your mother-in-law, your father-in-law might call you and be like, I went to a wedding and they did this, it was nice. Fine, it is your wedding, but it is also their wedding. Mm-hmm. You can make them understand. Daddy, me the one like it. Sorry for those that don't understand English. Daddy, I wouldn't like that. I don't know. I won't feel comfortable. They'll put you ahead of their decisions because they know they are doing it for you.
Yeah.
So you can decline politely. You shouldn't just go, no, I don't want to. It's not your wedding. No. You decline politely. And like she said,
Emma Binu, but
exactly.
You like Yoruba culture. When you put her head, Emma Binu, you smile,
them,
and you decline stylishly. At the end of the day, everybody is happy.
And like she said, carry your spouse along. So
yes,
the narrative does not change. As they are saying no to your father or mother-in-law, make sure you already told your husband to be or your wife to be that this and this. So whenever they present it to him or her, he knows what's going on. So he backs you up in your decision. It's not like you both are now making different decisions.
Yes, exactly.
So please, you can decline politely and also carry your spouse along respectively.
Yes, respectively. Very important. Okay, so the next question is this one says about compromising for each other. What if the husband felt like it's too much and you desire to have what you want? So instead of compromising to reach a conclusion, what if he brings what he has and I had mine, so I won't need to compromise or make myself unhappy? Okay, I think what this person is trying to say is that, when we talked about compromising, what if maybe it's because the husband does not have, that is why I say that, it's a must, you must do this. Okay, do you want to go first?
I think, there's a way you don't make your husband feel less of a person in taking decisions. Men have ego and you don't want to hurt that ego. It's not, I'm not saying there's a side of ego that you have to do everything I tell you to do, but I'm trying to say you shouldn't hurt your husband's ego, especially for your wedding. You don't want to start your marriage on a very bad foundation. If he says it's too much, that is where communication comes in.
Okay, so I'd like to say that on that the question is a bit tricky because number one, you must have known the kind of person you are dating.
True.
Before you start talking about marriage. You must have known what the person's behavior. Okay, for example, as a lady, for a woman, maybe she has money, she works and she earns big, but she likes all these extravagant lifestyles and all. You don't maybe all her shoes, maybe she wears Gucci, designer wears and all. And maybe the husband is like, don't buy designer shoe for your wedding. That is not the kind of person she is. So you as the husband also, you must understand and know the kind of person your partner is. If she can afford it, I think you should let her do. If he can afford it, if your husband is the kind of person that likes to use gold wristwatches and all, and you as a wife, you're saying that, babe, why don't you use your old ones and all? If he has the money, I think you should be able to understand that this is the kind of life they were living before you guys started talking about the wedding, and you also have the money to also do that. So
allow me buttress a bit. She said something about design, and let me create another scenario. Perhaps the bride wants to work with all these brands with huge names on Instagram. All these decorators that once you hear the name, last one is money, and there's somebody that can actually offer you that same service. But no, okay, fine. Let me say the initial decorator the bride wants to work with build something like 10 million for the fire and everything inclusive, 10 million. And there's somebody that could actually do it for say 4 million. And the husband is insisting, if they're offering the same service, let's go with this person that that can do it for 4 million, and the wife says, no, I want the brand name, because once they post my picture and they tag this person, they will know I have arrived. Please, you can actually go for it. Was what we're preaching last week. If you know you can afford it, truthfully, go for it.
Yes.
But if you know it's going to cause a lot of disrespect in your marriage, it's not worth it.
At all, it's not worth it. If you have the money to do it,
go for it.
Do it. It's not as if you are trying to say, you don't, we must go for things that are extremely cheap. If you have, just do it according to what you have. There are people that's 10 million if you remove from the, exactly. You know, so I think that answers that question. The next question is, as a man, when do you know you are ready to settle down? Or as a woman, when do you know that you are ready to settle down? Okay, so for me, as a man and as a woman, I think you must be, you must be matured, you must be financially responsible. The two of you must be financially responsible, and you must also have fallen in love, understand the partner you're getting married to, and you are ready, like you desire to get married. Yeah, I think those are the points that I have for you to know that you're ready to settle down. When you're ready for commitment, you know that, okay, I am ready to settle down with this person. I'm ready for commitment. I'm ready to stay committed. You get? So I think those are one of the ways to know that you are ready to get married. And of course, pray along. When you know that, you will know when you will know.
For a man, most especially, you don't have to have 3 cars parking your compound or 5 cars parking your compound. You don't have to have this duplex. I'm not saying
it's not good though.
It's not. Thank you. It's not saying it's not good. It is good, really. But I'm just saying you don't have to set the standard that until I have like 100 million in my account, before I'm not going anywhere. No. If at all, the kind of business, the kind of work you do allows you to have that much, all well and good. Like she said, maturity, maturity spans across a lot of things.
Exactly.
There are people that they can be 35 and once they say something, they might be wondering, is this person 3-year-old? Maturity in the sense of being responsible in your decision making.
Yes. In
the sense that once you take a decision, you're firm at it. You can hold your ground. Then you're not this cha everywhere.
Yeah.
My husband did this today. Look for somebody to be this thing. You have to be mature in the sense of knowing how to keep secrets.
Yeah.
Okay, so that is just a bit about maturity. Then for women too, you have to have something to do.
Yeah.
At
least have something at hand, yes, a skill or something.
Entrepreneurship.
Don't be a liability.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Please have something you're doing.
You must have something you're doing. Financial responsibility. This question is who is to be more spiritual between the husband and wife to be?
Okay, I think you should go first.
See, I'll tell you that do not marry a partner that is not spiritually sound. Yes, because a partner, someone that doesn't listen to God, there's no way God will speak to the person and the person will listen to God. I don't know how to put that phrase. Someone you can report your husband to God. You can tell God that, God, I want this, please speak to my husband as regards this and blah blah and all like that. But it's only a man that actually listens to God, that yields to the Holy Spirit, that understands or acknowledges the presence of the Holy Spirit, that can listen and take correction from God.
True.
But someone that does not, my dear, just don't go for someone that's not spiritually sound. And who is to be more spiritual? The two of you. The two of you. There's no. You should be both. I can't tell you that the wife should be more prayerful while the husband is out there doing rubbish, or I can't tell you the man should be more prayerful while the wife is out there doing rubbish. The two of you needs to be more prayer. You have to be prayerful. I can't decide for you who should be best, but you yourself that you are marrying, you that you are a child of God, my dear, like attracts like.
Okay, so you know what? I like to buttress. Like she said, you two have to be spiritually sound.
Exactly, 100%.
There's this. I'll use myself as an example. There's this thing that I happen. Once we go to church and we start praying, my husband prays like I pray. And at times when we're praying, we sit together in church most times, and we're praying, and I just know you
The
know,
fire is
and you get,
moving.
and
Yes,
I just glance and I see
exactly.
my man, I'm like, that's my husband.
Yes.
So please, and you don't want to marry somebody that maybe,
That brings down your spiritual life.
and you get, and maybe there's something going on that is just stopping your peace, and your husband cannot just say, let's say a word of prayer together.
Yes.
My dear, it's all good. It's
Or
not good at
cannot
all.
advise you that, okay, the Holy Spirit is telling me that we should do this and that, and
So-
maybe the Holy Spirit is even telling you that maybe you should pray for 3 days or praise for 3 days, and you're like, what's in the lake?
Yes. As your- no, it's not measured on
You
the
don't want to
scale,
live that
but
kind
it
of
should,
life.
it should measure up together. You don't want to be
Yes.
bringing up spirituality in your home. My husband is watering it down.
Exactly.
So it should go
At the end of the day, the
hand in
partner will be frustrated. That's
Of course,
the
and
truth.
person will
That is
just
the truth.
follow the trend too.
That is the truth. So please, be with someone that they have a good spiritual life. Next question is, how long should courtship last before marriage? Well, okay. I can't say I can't tell you how long or how short, but at least it should be minimum 3 months. At least if you get to know someone, at least I've heard people saying that they got to know themselves for 2 weeks and they got married. Yes, I've heard stories like that, and they are good and happily married. See, what works for A might not work for B.
Exactly.
But as long as you are getting married when you know that you want to get married and you are not being pressured into it, it is
True.
fine.
True. Take the
Don't
pressure
say
out.
that my mom courted for 5 years. Me too, I want to court for 5 years, my dear. Don't say that. It might not work for you at the end of the day. You will see people that say that we courted for 10 years, we courted for 5 years, and after 2 years in marriage, it's not just the don't just get pressured into choosing the amount of period that you need to court for, because what works for her might not work for me. So it depends totally, but at least I feel 3 months, from 3 months to at least 1 to 2 years.
And in as much as you personally, I don't encourage long courtship.
Yeah.
I don't. I personally, like I said, it's my own opinion, and I'm very sure there are some churches that don't encourage it.
Yeah.
The moment you take your I don't know for most churches, but I think a friend of mine attends that church. I'm not going to mention the name, but the moment they made it known to the wedding council, so they gave them an ultimatum that you should know you cannot cut beyond a year. So I think they started the relationship like say mid of this year, and next year, the mid of next year, they got married. So everything spanned across the year. So because of that, you should not have turn one sister to Lord of the Rings. You know what I say, because you are still checking if you are compatible, you're still checking. Don't waste nobody's time, please.
Exactly.
Please
If you know you're not ready, just
it's
let
not
them
worth
move
it.
on.
Don't waste anybody's time. You don't have to cut somebody for 5 years because you are trying to see you are compatible. No.
5 years, okay.
People do it.
Yeah, no, please don't do that. Okay, the next question here is when is the right age to get married? Well, I would say that right age, I can't, as long as you have reached the adult
I think legally in Nigeria,
18 and above.
18
But I
and
would not
above.
advise you to go and get married at the age of 18, because you are not like you don't know. As long as you know what you want, if you have gotten to the stage that you know what you want, you can define that this is what I want, this is who I am, this is who I
said
want
legally,
to be.
I don't say it's because at
Yes.
that 18 you're still discovering yourself.
Exactly. As
So,
long as you have discovered
You
yourself,
can
you
see
know.
people that are even 25 and they ask them, how far, what's your appointment? I don't even start. You don't mind that kind of person. You're not ready because you don't even have a blueprint for your life. Nobody has it
Exactly.
planned up quite all right.
Yeah.
But then you get to a point whereby maybe financially you've attained like a minimum of the plans you have in life. Being responsible for yourself, you are. And things are falling in line.
Yeah.
Personally, you say if you'll be seeing it,
That's okay. Maybe the next thing
just-
is marriage.
You just
and
feel
please,
the need.
there's no late comer in marriage.
Yes. No.
So don't be pressured into getting married. How do you deal with behavioral changes in marriage?
Okay, one thing I know for sure is the courtship is still the icing on the cake. It's just the icing. Everything you'll be seeing will be sweetening you. Let the person sneeze by. He's like, honey, you just sneezed. Sorry. In my person will see that be like, how come are you sneezing like that? So, honestly, marriage is as though I'm still young in Equatorial. Mine is that though, you're removing a veil from somebody's face. Everything goes shine bright. You go see clear. Everything go clear for your eye. So all I try to say is understanding. One, you have to pray for the Holy Spirit to give you the understanding. There are some things that you don't just, as you're seeing it, this person did this thing, and you now want to go on attacking at that point in time. No, it could be the Holy Spirit might tell you to just wait. Wait, it could be a day, it could be 2 days. Or else
Calm down.
Then once you understand what the person is saying, and the person gives you the answer, then there's a place for compromise. We don't have it all perfect. That is the reason why marriage is for beautifying you at your lowest. There's this place where maybe you are at your own 100%, your husband may be at 30. You have to come down to his level to help him grow.
So many things will cause changes to happen, behavioral changes. For women, when she's pregnant, she's going to change. When she's ovulating, there'll be a change. When she's menstruating, there'll be a change. When she wants to do, there'll be a change. When you are not performing, there'll be so yes, where there'll be a change. When she cooked and you are not eating, there will be behavioral change. So there are so many things that are going to cause the behavioral changes. But one thing I would just like to say is that understanding, like she said, understanding matters.
Familiarity can cause some changes.
Yeah.
Familiarity can
imagine
cause
when
changes.
you go to school, you've gone to school for like a month and you now come back home.
You know the way your parents welcome
that first 2 days, your parents will give you, your mom will give you like like mama meji, chicken and all. After 1 week, my dear, the number will change. So that is it. It's just because this person is your husband or this person is your wife. That's why you're feeling like if he's not a robot and she's not a robot too. They cannot behave the same way all through. No.
Sure.
Things will cause them to change. It might even be things from work.
On a lighter mood, we were roommates in 400 level. In school. I can remember from 100 to 103, we were not roommates, but
we'll be friends.
We'll be going to each other's hostels to go and see each other after class. We'll be on weekends too. Moments we were roommates in 400 level. And sometimes we don't even talk to each other because we're always seeing each other.
Yes, and we were the same.
Go to class
department.
Go to chapel together.
You get so
no it can't be helped actually. You just it's just I can't teach us how to do
so
it. Funny.
You'll be fine, except if these behavioral changes are now like leading to maybe domestic violence or leading to things that my dear, if it's due to domestic violence,
wrong.
Rise up and go.
Carry your leg and run.
Because it's not good. I don't know what to say again, but if those changes are leading to domestic violence, or if those changes are now leading to your partner cheating on you and all like that, and maybe drinking and all, but that means you need to ask questions and you need to pray too, because some things are not just natural.
Then I'd like to say something too. In case of some behavioral difference that are not changing, that is the reason why you as a husband or wife should have somebody you listen to. In as much as marriage doesn't encourage third parties, there are some things you cannot handle alone. Maybe you talk to your pastor, you talk to a counselor, somebody you trust, not somebody that you tell something and before 2 or 3 people in the church or your neighbor, they already know. Somebody you can trust with your secret, with your life. So this person will take with much importance as you do too. So once you talk to a person, make sure it's somebody your husband or your wife listens to. Somebody that wants, it's just like saying, I'm reporting to this person. When that person cautions you, you know the right thing to do. So impliedly they'll see the changes in you. That's the kind of.
But before you go and report, make sure you have communicated with your partner.
Yes. And of course, pray along too. Pray along.
Yeah. Thank you.
So
thank you for watching.
That brings us to this end of this episode. Hope you enjoy it. In case you have further questions, please do well to drop, like, subscribe, and also pass your comments. Thank you. We love you.
Bye.